Hello and welcome to another round of our modern gameplay that we had on our Twitch. This round is technically round 3, but we have Michael McAllister playing Blue-Black Mill and James Mulder on the right playing Blue-White Control. Two decks that I find really interesting to play, and I don't know, I think they're both fun. So, we got a turn one, or we got an Aboro, a Ruin Crab, and then a Polluted Delta, triggering Ruin Crab the fact. On James' side, first card we can see is a Hall of the Storm Giants, which is a super sweet card from Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. And honestly, probably one of the... I'm not too big a fan of that set. It wasn't the greatest in my opinion. But I do that card specifically a lot. There's like 10 cards maybe from the entire set that I like. Alright, so we can see a Prismatic Ending on the Ruin Crab here. And a fetch in response to get another trigger off the effect. James's deck is pretty cool, right? So he plays Resurgent Belief as a way to recycle his enchantments. He plays Shark Typhoon. There's another enchantment that he plays that's really sick. I think it takes control of a permanent. I can't remember the name of it. And we've had him on stream a couple times now, and it's a really cool deck just to see go off. Just because I know last week he played against Michael Mapson, who was playing Amulet Titan. This week he's playing against Mike, who has Mill. Two Michaels in a row. That's funny. I don't know if we have any more Michaels for him to play against next week. So, Michael's going to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter. We're going to hit 5, 10, 14. I think that brings it to 20 or 21. That's the enchantment. Yeah, James's deck is one of those ones of the format where the mana cost on cards is relatively high. That way, you can see an uptick on Time Raveler. Tasha's City's Laughter isn't the greatest against him. You want to hit the high CMC cards out of the deck, right? Because you don't want your control opponent playing stuff like Shark Typhoon, Hero Dominaria, stuff like that, Solitude against you. But I lost count of where we were. Yeah, I think we had to be pretty high. So it sucks because your laughter isn't gonna take as much from them as it will Hammer Time, but getting those cards out of the deck is actually really important. See an uptick in pass. Now, I'm not familiar with all of the things in this Mill deck. I don't know if he has anything special going on. I imagine it's pretty I almost said run of the mill. Trying to not walk into the pun. It's probably a pretty stock list. You got your 8 crabs, your fetches, your Borup House in the clouds. I played it as a Luris deck. I just don't remember if he had a companion. I think that's what I see over there. It looks like it's a Luris on the bottom of the screen. James is going to flash in a Solitude, and I don't think... Well, Mike can't really respond to it, right? There's a Time Raveler on the board, but... Puts a Misty into play. He's one land activation, or he's one land off of being able to activate Hall of the Storm Giants. Because what he has to do is he has to try and race Mike, because the thing is he's going to there is an inevitability that Mill has against control decks, in the fact that since you want to go long, you're going to eventually get decked out. You can't counter every single spell that they play. So you need to put your Solitudes on the board, your Halls. You just need to animate stuff and go as quickly as possible. The nice thing for James, though, is that he doesn't have 20 or more cards in his graveyard. They're mostly exiled, so he doesn't have to worry about just throwing off multiple Visions of the Beyond to draw cards. You see a fetch. Probably is grabbing an island, right? He doesn't really need another black source, yeah. The sleeves are interesting. They look really nice, and they look nice on camera. I feel like they're a nightmare to shuffle. I've had sleeves with like that style before, like that plastic, like really plasticky style. Oh, there's a Fractured Sanity. The Archmage's Charm to counter it, and then a fetch. Is this the attempt to counterspell? But yeah, time raveler. Here's the finger point. It's the time raveler. You can't play at instant speed. Teferi's an absurd card. Like, why was that a static ability? That could have been the uptick, and it still would have been really good. So you gotta cycle the enchantment. And untap and draw. Alright. Is he still a land off of being able to just hit? What is Hall? Is it 6 in a blue or 7 in a blue? Hall of Armor Giants. 5 in a blue until on a turn becomes a 7/7 with ward 3. I think I would have tried to just hit him for 12 there. Because then he has to deal with the Solitude or the Hall. Not 12, 10. Either way, you can put him in within lethal range. For some reason, I thought Solitude was a 5/5, but that would be absurd. He's a 3/2. Also, mildly aggravating. Yep, you can see a Surgical Extraction, probably on the Resurgent Belief. I believe these two know each other. They were talking before the match. So, like, he knows about the Resurgent Belief thing. But yeah, fun fact. Out of the line of, like, Den of the Bugbear, Hall of Storm Giants, I think Hall's the only one that's not Hall of the... yeah. Like, it's bothersome. Why was it not Hall of the Storm Giants? I'm going to mispronounce that card. Or misrefer to that. I'm going to Drown and Lock the Solitude. I'm going to Archmage's Charm the Drown and Lock. Do we have an active Field of Ruin? Now we do. There's the other Drown and Lock. We are getting extremely low on deck count here for James. Okay. This is when he asked, because he surgical him, so he does know the cards in hand. He asked if he could see. For camera, if he could lay them out. Which is, it's fine, it's whatever. I don't know if it's something I would have done if I was James, but... Alright, attack the Hall, put him to 4. Now, if Mike decides to Field of Ruin him here, and James still has a basic left in his deck, barring Mike having like Archive Trap or another mill spell, I think James can still pull out the win. That's a big if, right? Like, he has to have the basic in his deck still, which isn't guaranteed. I don't know what the one card in Mike's hand is. So, Field of Ruin, hitting the Hall. And, yep, there's an Archive Trap. So that's going to either deck James or put him extremely close. Yeah, the nice thing is, even though James was unable to find a target for Field of Ruin, he is forced to search because of the Field of Ruin effect, which means Archive Trap can trigger. Alright, and that's game 1 going to Mill. This is game 2 with James on the play this time. James is using the full text basic lands, and I adore that. I think that's awesome, honestly. You can see a Dark Six into a crab, into a Hedron crab, which is going to get counterspelled for a very good reason. Uh, and tapped Shockland, yeah. It's a Solitude, the other enchantment, and a Mesa. Unfortunately, I think if I remember correctly, James gets mana screwed this game and just doesn't draw any additional lands for a while, which is not where you want to be against Mill. Like I said, you want to make your land drops, you want to get your creatures out, you just want to start punching as quickly as possible, or present an alternate win condition against them. Like I know the 1K I played Mill in, one of my opponents was playing Scapeshift, and he Scapeshifted me the one game. Like he did his thing, or he was playing the Bring to Life version, so like the Scapeshift was the secondary win condition. But like you just sometimes you just have to have an alternate win condition, or have like an Emrakul or Ulamog in your sideboard. Gonna surgical out the Resurgent Belief, paying the 2 life for it this time. I'm trying to think of like other things that James might be able to do here. He could just cycle a Shark Typhoon if he gets the mana. And there's the Archive Trap. 3, 4. Yeah, at this point they're having a conversation about Surgical versus Field of Ruin as to what searched his deck. Um, yeah. Mike was saying that like Surgical allows you to Archive Trap, which I'm fairly certain that it doesn't, because you search your opponent's deck, they don't search the deck, but the Field of Ruin triggered it, so it's fine. There's a lot of good hits in that 13, including a Celestial Colonnade, which is a win condition. And then Visions Beyond, you're drawing 3 cards. Cycling a Shark Typhoon. Prismatic Ending on the Crab. Somehow James has just not been able to find a land, which sucks. That's like really unfortunate for him. Once again asking if James can reveal his hand for the camera after the Surgical. I do think one of those Archmage's Charms is supposed to be unknown though, but draws 3. Because he had, there should be one more unknown card. He drew the Prismatic for turn. Maybe not, but still stuck on 2 lands. I think he just drew a Memory Deluge, which like sucks in this matchup. Or at the very least, sucks when you're on 2 lands. Card in general, though, amazing. If you don't own any copies of that, stop into your local alternate universes or go to our website, AlternateU.com, and pick some up. Alright, Visions Beyond to draw 3 more cards. Conditional Ancestral Recall, where the conditions aren't terribly hard to meet. Like, Tapping 3 for a Fractured Sanity. I'm going to Mystical Dispute it. It's going to Mystical Dispute back the Mystical Dispute. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yep. Drew the third land, and we have the Mystical Dispute, and that's going to be the game. Alright, folks, thanks for watching. We have Mill going 2-0 over Blue-White Control. If you want to watch us live, we do this every Monday and Friday. Monday is Modern, Friday is Legacy. Other than that, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and, yeah. Let me know how you feel about Mill in the comments. Mill seems to be a very non-loved deck. So, thank you for watching. Have a great day.